Hello, everybody. I feel like Grover today. Hello, everybody. This is the monster at the end of the book, the blue monster at the end of the book. It is me. It is I, Leslie Plazz, also known as Zazoo Plazz. Back from my Sunday report. It's a beautiful day, August 1st, 2021. It's perfect. Sunny day, just a few puffy clouds, beautiful cool breeze. It's perfect. I'm far away, so there aren't too many bugs bothering me. Tweeting, birds tweeting. The little wind. It's actually kind of chilly out here. I got my USA tank top. BU Stay Amazing for the Olympics are going on in Tokyo. I've been watching. You can't help but get inspired when you watch those. You know, it's like you become like a kid again. You want to twirl. I watch gymnastics and I want to twirl. Like these videos on that you see out there. Little. Oh, there's the ice cream truck. Of course, there's the ice cream truck. See, if you say, of course there's the ice cream truck. This is the perfect day. It's only going to get more perfect, right? You watch the Olympics and you're just in awe of the things that the human body can do, you know. Of course it would. Now I smell hot dogs. Somebody's grilling the ice cream truck. Sunday in the suburbs, summer Sunday in the suburbs. So that brings me to my, hey, it's Leo season. And Leo, I was thinking on the way over here, there's a couple of little boys, probably about 9 or 10, you know. If you want to know about Leo, just watch a couple of kids playing in the playground, right? Or like the Olympics. You say, look at me, look at me. I came out here to play basketball, and I'm going to make, you know, he makes a basket. And then the other kid says, watch me, I can do better than that. That's Leo. It's like, no, look at me, right? It's like the baby boom generation, you know, at Woodstock. It's like, yeah. My husband pointed out to me, the cover of the newspaper, the Journal Inquirer, which is the local newspaper for which I used to write for many years as a freelancer. This might show up in a future book. My husband said, and I've made a habit of not reading the news too much lately. He says, come look at the paper. So, since you know, society has changed a little bit in recent years, and you can't help but wonder if it's the influence of you know, the generation that was in their 20s in the 60s, where, you know, they're about, front page has 2 women sitting on a bench, totally nude, going like this. It's something about a nudist colony up in the northeast Woodstock, in the corner of Connecticut. No lie. Next, under that, or next to it, is something about certain laws regarding the smoking of funny substances, you know. And in this day and age, you know, people parading around without clothes, and then you see, you know, somebody who's all covered up. And juxtapositioning is kind of, you know, it's a little wild. And if you just, so I clipped that and I put it in my notebook of, you know, strange societal things that I have comments about. And I think it'll show up in a future story, you know. Oh, we got people. Hold on. So that was my little funny story that I realized, oh my goodness, times they are a changing, right? So the other little story I wanted to talk about this week, oh yeah, we're talking about Leo. I gotta show my show and tell today. There's something that didn't make it into the first book that I think will make it into future books. And it kind of ties in with talking about Leo and the king of the jungle and, showing off. When I was, in my early 20s, I was going for my MBA part-time, and to make a little money, I thought, gee, maybe I could go to modeling school and get some modeling jobs, and, I said, what the heck, because I felt like, yeah, I could go out there. I liked strutting around on the runway and, the catwalk. On the catwalk, yeah, I do my little thing on the catwalk. So that's perfect Leo, right? He's a big cat, or she. So only a few people have ever seen these, but there's one picture that my kids would probably be apathetic about, actually. But here I am. Can you believe that was me? Look at me. I'm wearing a leopard print. It was a tight dress. Let's see if I have oh, there it is. The full length version with the hoop earrings and the big hair. See? Wow. That's a very leonine. Anyway, I have other pictures, but they may show up in a future book. My grandmother was Leona, which means female lion, and my grandfather was Leo. I come from a family of Leos. His moon was in Leo. I believe my mother had Leo moon also. No, Pisces. She had Leo ascendant, I think. I don't know. She had something in Leo. But people, see, I have no planets in Leo, but I have Leo in my 11th house, which is, it's like friends and stuff, So I like being in groups. Like I used to go and run with my friends. Here we go. Anyway, I'm back. We had people. What did I want to talk about? Yeah, so, Leo in my 11th house. So I guess that means, when I'm with a group of people, I tend to want to be the leader. Or I want to do things my own way. But I don't like being blamed if things go wrong. I like to take the credit, which as a mom, anybody who's a mom, that you're planning like a day at the beach, which happened this week. And, the best laid plans, as they say, can go awry, right? And very often they do, because your expectations of things can be so, high, like modeling, and then when things go wrong, your kids, it's always mom's fault, right? So whether or not it really is my fault, it ends up seeming like it's my fault, right? Oh, it's raining, that's mom's fault. So anyway, my modeling career, I went through the classes at a modeling school nearby. It was John Casablancas, elite, and then it turned into elite model management. So my great expectations were that I was going to be Cindy Crawford, right? Because I got the moles. So what happened was I ended up getting a few assignments. One of them was to go out with a bunch of girls. We were, dressed in these short, tight dresses like Robert Palmer girls, and we had like baseball caps and high heels and stuff, and we went to these bars, and we used to have to like pass out merchandise for the cigarette brand, which, you know, after a while I'm like, what am I doing? I hate smoking. Why am I promoting smoking? So, but it was a job, you know. We'd show up, they'd give us all the merchandise, and we'd go around and talk to people, mostly guys, and we'd hand out baseball caps and duffel bags. You know, maybe we'd, I don't know, dance around a little bit, go home, and I got paid for that. And then another time I got to be an extra in a movie in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I got to go, and it was at a courthouse or something. There was a scene, you know, and the camera panned the audience, and I had to be, you know, woman in the courtroom. You know, I had to, you know, react, basically. I got to act. There's a little story in the book about a time when when I was working for the environmental agency in Connecticut, when we had a little improv class, and we all got little toys, and we had to put on little ad hoc performances, you know, to improve our communication skills. And that was great. You know, I could do that. I think I'm a frustrated performer. You know? I like doing that, but then I have to kind of go back to the cave and recharge, you know. But people almost always react when they see me one way or the other. Extremes. I really tick them off. Or they're intrigued by me, and then they, you know, they want to see what I'm all about. But anyway, so I'm reading the Bible today. It says, you know, the people are in the desert, the Israelites, and Moses takes them on a little trip. They're like, oh, we're gonna get out of Egypt. We're gonna go, you know, we're gonna get out of here. It's gonna be great. And then a few days into the trip, oh man, wish we were back in our comfy, you know, place where we were. So we were enslaved, but you know, at least it wasn't hot, and we had something to eat, and you know, so it's like, okay, you know, they wanted God to put on a show, just like the people with Jesus, you know. They're like, he gives them does the miracle, you know, all the loaves and the fishes, and they're like, do another one. We want to see a trick. We want to see a magic trick, you know. So you're God, show us a trick. They wanted Jesus to perform. He's like, yeah, you know, it doesn't work that way. You put in an order, you go through the drive-through, and you get what you ordered. Like the other night, you know, we're coming back from the beach. I said, oh, I gotta have one of those ice cream cones, a soft serve. So we go through the drive-through, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that anymore, because I got a whiff of the, you know, the fast food smells that, you know, I used to be able to eat those all the time, and now, like, just the smell of the fast food turned my stomach, and I didn't enjoy it, you know, the sugar, and so a lot of that kind of stuff is happening these days. Things I used to enjoy, like going to the beach, you know, was always kind of rebellious to go to the state beach. You know, it was different from, my parents would go to they go to their house, you know, they go and they clean the house, and they come back home and clean the house and go there. So, you know, I grew up like that, like, oh, let's go to the state beach. Because my parents, they never wanted to, you know, go there. They said, it's, you know, we had our own little shower at the house. It was nice. We had our own towels there, soap. And, you know, when the kids were little, we said, oh, we'll go. And for a few years, it was all right. You know, we'd go there, and we'd all take showers in the pavilion, and it was fairly nice and clean. But this week, they're like, oh, we're going to get out of this, you know, we're going to get out of here. We're going to go to the beach. We'll have, you know, nice, refreshing dip in the ocean. The sun will kiss our skin. We'll have, you know, nice lunch. We'll talk and have meaningful discussions, and I'll read I'll do my puzzles. think it ended up that way? You're right. No, it didn't. My expectations were through the roof. So what actually happened, I made all the plans. Go to put my bathing suit on. It's like all the elastics worn out. Like, this bathing suit is barely going to hold up. You know, it's on its last leg. We get in a minivan, which is also on its last leg. Everybody's passing us on the highway. We're like, 4 more years. Just got to make it through the last kid going through college. So, you know, so I brought some coffee, burned my mouth on the coffee. Oh crap. It's going to be one of those days. Beautiful day. You know, but how often does this happen? You're like, oh, all right. Of course, okay, I burned my mouth in the coffee. You know, let's move on. You know, and then we get to the beach, and you know, you put your stuff down, and somebody's playing the radio too loud. Somebody's playing, like, you know, the music each kid play today doesn't even sound like music. It's just synth like beats over and over. It's like the same freaking song for 2 hours. So sitting there, putting the lotion on, you know, and I got lotion in my eye because I put some up here and then dripped down, you know, and then I go to the porta potty. There's no paper, so I had to walk a mile to the pavilion. And you know what those are like. The public, and after last year, you know, with all the hygiene and staying inside, I'm like, it was 3 million times as bad. So I'm like, okay, you know, I think I can hold it for 3 more hours. Then I said, okay, I'm going to go in the ocean. So in the ocean, I forget it was the ocean. I thought it was in the lake. So I'm going out, jumping the waves. All of a sudden I hear the whistle. The lifeguard's blowing the whistle at me. I was enjoying myself way too much, and I got out like farther than everybody. And I'm like, no, don't come get me. Don't come get me. I'm swimming. I'm like, I'm in the Olympics. And here's Zazoo Plazz. Zazoo Plazz is going for the record. And I'm doing the side stroke and I'm doing the back stroke. I'm like, let them just see that I'm okay, you know. And then finally I felt so stupid because my husband's always saying, swim parallel to the shore. Do you think that I remember that? It's been 2 years since I've been in the ocean. Last year we couldn't go. I was so excited. I swam all the way out. I got crashed, waves crashed on me 3-4 times. I'm like, yeah, the bathing suit is still on. Because one time I was swimming in the lake with some friends and we were playing water polo or something. I had a little wardrobe malfunction. I was single. I gave him a thrill. Whatever. There wasn't really much to see. They're still talking about it, probably. Anyway, this is the kind of thrill that I miss in my life. It happened to me once as a kid too. I had this yellow bikini, and I had a couple of waves, you know. And at the age when you're like 13, 14, you're like, oh my God, it sticks in your mind. I'm a very modest person. So I go, okay, finally get to the shore. I'm like, oh good, they didn't have to rescue me. They had to rescue some other girl who, she started freaking out. She was 14, she got out there. And then, so after I came in, I said, please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Squamish Beach. We would like to remind you to observe the limits. Do not go in the ocean above your waist. This goes for you, especially, lady. Okay, so and then my son's like, Mom, you did it. I was like, hey, I got somebody to whistle at me. Who knew that would happen again? So anyway, everybody's fine. Nobody was hurt. Anyway, so, having the snarky 20-year-old, he's reading his book, and the umbrella was also falling apart. We had tines sticking out. Now this thing is probably as old as he is, if not more. He's rolling his eyes because the wind picked up and the thing blew inside out, and it was everybody was looking at us because they all had big, strong, super duper 21st century umbrellas that they put in their 21st century, less than 5-year-old cars out in the parking lot. And we had this 20-year-old relic in our 14-year-old car. And this does make a better humor story, actually. But anyway, so then, so I got the lotion in the eyes with the music, and then we had clam cakes, and they were cakey and not clammy. They definitely, the quality has gone down. So anyway, by this point, I'm like, you know what? We should have just stayed home. Why didn't we just stay home? What the heck is this? Seagulls flying around. Please do not feed the seagulls. They are very aggressive. They'll take out your eye. Please do not feel. Like, what the heck are we doing here with all these people? Some guy's over there with a stick beating off the seagulls. I'm like, it's like the time in Spain when a seagull flew over me and pooped on my leg. I forget, it was they pooped on me anyway. I'm like, why didn't we just stay home? We could have just stayed home. But then I realized, as we got all dressed and got out, and then, end of the day finally comes. Fortunately, I didn't get burned. I go to take a shower. All the showers are filled except the same darn one I end up in every year. You put your coins in, freezing cold. Freezing freaking cold. Everybody else, my husband's like, oh, I had a nice warm shower. I'm like, you can't make this stuff up. It was freezing cold. I had goosebumps all up and down my skin. So when we went to Mystic Pizza, I had to wear a sweatshirt. It took me the whole night to thaw out. I'm like, what the heck? And then I realized I put in an order for this. I went through the wrong drive-through. Universe has just given me what I ordered. At a certain point, I switched from saying, things will get better, to, of course. Right? And then after exhausting myself swimming and, with the lotion and the chemicals and the bad clam cakes and of course we had some fruit, which was good. But and the snarky kid in the back seat making fun of me, I'm like, oh man, this is the worst trip we've ever had to the beach. And he's like, really, Mom? And then I realized he was having a good time, despite all these things I was complaining about. The kid in the back seat with his little funny white earbuds sticking out of his ears, and he's still that little kid that we used to put in the car seat, the little blondie who couldn't get enough of the sun and digging in the sand and jumping waves with Mom. And my husband was the same guy that I used to go and he'd scoop me up and we'd jump the waves together. We used to do that. He said, you didn't swim with me today. And I realized, yeah, I didn't. I went out on my own, trying to be a big hero and defeat the ocean by myself. When did I change from this person who was content to go along and with the flow to this person who felt like she had to be her own superhero and charge off on her own. Maybe I was always like that. Where did my dissatisfaction with myself sneak in? And why wasn't it enough just to, go with the flow? That's the question I keep asking myself. And maybe some other women ask themselves at a certain point, when it's just not enough. We need a thrill, don't we? Here comes the ice cream truck again. We need to know there's another treat in the ice cream truck waiting for me. Maybe there's another thrill out there that I'm meant to experience. Another wave crashing on me. The thrill of personal shining moment, Our souls need that. I need that. You need that, right? I'm going to think about that a little bit this week. Where are you missing the sun in your life? Where is the sun not shining as much? I used to say things like, something like, where the sun don't shine. That used to be an expression I used to hear. Something like, put it where the sun don't shine. When you want to tell somebody off, but you want to do it in a nice way. Where does the sun not shine? Maybe it'll shine in some dark corners and reveal a few things to you about yourself and your life. Where you need to roar. So, on your mane, venture out and be brave. Have a brave and courageous week. Take care. Until next week, Zazoo Plazz saying goodbye. Surf's up. See ya.